today we're going to make use of the terrible weather and we're basically going to see what is autopilot like when the weather is terrible. So let's initiate autopilot and see how we get on. So very first thing that I will mention is that the automatic wipers seem to be working great. I've not turned these on, they've just set this speed themselves. What I do find is that in lighter rain they're not as good and they don't come on quite as much as I'd want them to, but when it's heavy rain like this I always think they do a pretty good job these days. And then the second automatic thing to mention is that the lights have automatically come on, which I think is reasonably impressive because it's not dark but there is limited visibility because of the rain, and the car has detected that it's worth turning the lights on. Now you saw we slowed down because of those cars. I'm just going to let it speed up itself, and I think it did a really good job there. I genuinely would speed up a little bit faster, which I can do without going out of autopilot. I just push onto the accelerator like this and it gets us up to the speed limit a little bit faster. But I think it'll be interesting to see how the car gets on with puddles and that sort of thing, because in my experience it doesn't currently avoid puddles that are in the side of the road. We've got some puddles right here and we did go into them. I mean, it was absolutely fine, but we did go into them. But what's interesting is I've been watching some videos on YouTube, and we'll overlay the footage of basically what autopilot can see. Autopilot can detect when there's puddles and when the road is wet, but at the moment it doesn't currently swerve around them. But that shows that it can see it and recognize it, and potentially that's something that's going to happen in the future. So we are coming up to a bit of a bend. You can see that there is definitely very limited visibility, so it'll be interesting to see if autopilot struggles at all, and obviously I am ready to take over. I will also say the weather's been dreadful for about a week and a half, and we've wanted to film this video multiple times, but every single time we finally get to where we want to be, the rain bloody stops and we have to just go home. But it seems to be giving us everything we want right now. You can hear how noisy it is. So anyway, that turning's coming up now. I'm going to let the car in front kind of regulate our speed, I think, rather than me lower the speed. So this is that tricky turn that it's only been able to do in the latest update. Oh, it feels scary, but it's doing it. I'm ready to take over, so I'm holding the wheel, but I'm not actually controlling the car. Oh, it did nail that, to be fair. I still think it goes into the first bit a bit fast, don't you?
Yeah, definitely.
But the second bit, it lowers it down to 40 rather than 50, and that's perfect, and now we're speeding back up again. But yeah, once again, as you can see, all of the other cars have their lights on, and I'm quite impressed that the Tesla has also automatically put the correct lights on as well. Okay, this is another tricky turning. So it's lowered us down to 50 nice and early, and then round it goes without a problem. I think it absolutely nails that one. And you can also see that the rain looks to have eased off slightly, and our wipers have also slowed down. This is a little bit of a tight corner, but it doesn't seem to have an issue. It's took us down to 26, and then round we go absolutely fine. But then obviously we're coming up to a junction. Can't currently do junctions or anything like that, so I need to take over now. I'll leave it as long as I can just to see what happens, but I'm ready to put my foot on the brake. There's no one behind me right now. Oh, that was absolutely beautiful. So it aborted autopilot, but it stopped us nicely at the junction. That was a good opportunity to test that. I'm glad that we managed to see that. Okay, let's turn autopilot back on. Jeez, felt too close to the side of there. I don't know how easy that'll be to see on camera, but I felt very close to the cars that were parked over on our left. It's another Model 3! Where are they all coming from? Where we live, you barely ever see any Teslas, do you? But we've just seen 2 white Model 3s in the space of about 5 minutes. Alright, okay, can't turn autopilot back on just yet. Just wants to see a little bit more of the road. And now it is ready to go, and then off we go. So far, the rain hasn't really caused any problems. What I'm going to do is I'm going to click the rear view camera, and as you can see, the rain does have an impact on that, because the raindrops do get stuck to that. But I mean, what's the solution?